Welcome to Three Beard Sports. My name is Craig, along with Austin and our guest from the other side of the pond, up way north in Finland, Miss Lynsey Kelly. How are you today?
I am great, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining with us today. Yeah, so a little bit we're talking. So she was giving me a little bit of an education on how to speak Finnish, and I'm terrible. I'm terrible. But we will call it. She plays for, and I'll let you pronounce the name of the team because I always butcher. I want to say it's like Ilves. Is what I want to say, but I know that's not right.
Ilves.
Ilves in the city of Tampere, in Finland, and see, they didn't make these names. I'm totally,
You're Americanizing it.
I'm Americanizing it. So, the joke was, so I'll just say it's like they're at the Tamerlan Stadium, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's, but you look at some of these ones, you're like, I like the sport, but good Lord, why is it so hard?
Oh, you're telling me. I know. Oh, God.
So now we'll get that. So, obviously everybody, look you up and stuff, but so how did you come to sign with a Finnish soccer professional team coming here from the States there? What, did you seek them out as kind of an opportunity, or did they just see you and like, hey, we need to talk to you?
My college coach actually helped me seek out an opportunity once we figured out we were going to move here.
Oh, nice.
So he reached out to an old coach who was born in Finland and coached in Finland, but went to the States and coached there, but then came back to Finland.
Nice.
Okay.
So there were just some ties, Oh, yeah, and so he helped me. Got in contact via email, and it went from there. I came here, had some tryouts, and it went well.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, kind of Austin, a few of the people that I've known that aren't really big football, we're going to use the appropriate term, football, fans, not American football fans, or football, depending on if you're from the southern hemisphere. Everybody doesn't really they think of it like, especially like American thing. You're thinking like NFL teams. You're thinking in this where there's where you got this major team in just these few locations. But when you get over to Europe, South America, just pretty much everywhere else in the world, it's like convenience stores here. There's a football stadium everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't even realize, like, even England, I haven't been to Finland, so I'll see what you are like. But you go to England and there is Premier League, and there is, you have the next Division One, you have this next, and there's all these clubs, and those ones are all English is trying to get up to the next league. And so for you, are you guys the premier in Finland, or are you the feeder league going up to something else?
So I played for the top women's league in Finland. Yes.
Awesome. So. And how many would you say, kind of where you're at, how many football clubs are there kind of near the surrounding area? I'm not looking for, give me an actual count, but I just say just right by where you are. How many football, stadiums would you say are within, say, like 10 miles of you?
Well, there's actually, I live right next to one, actually.
Yeah. So
it's not even the one we play at.
Yeah.
So literally there's at least two within a 2-mile radius.
Wow.
Is that great? Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it is. And for anybody that's never seen some of these things, like we're, here in the Orlando area where we're at, you have Orlando FCs that, they have, that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about some little like high school football field here. We're talking about something like that is in multiple locations. And then the big clubs have even bigger facilities, and so your guys' capacity is over 5,000, I think, just for your stadium, if I'm not mistaken.
They carry a lot. They do.
Yeah, which is,
they're pretty large.
How do you guys sell sell out most of your matches? I mean, obviously not now with,
Yeah.
I mean, there's, not now. I mean, most of it's just, you got to do the pretend thing, point to the one or two people that are up in the stadium.
Yeah, you're like, oh, yeah. Well, like the women's sports, like in general, probably don't do as well as the men's sports, so we don't get like sold out, like nothing like that huge, but our men's team does better. They're bigger, they profit more compared to the women's team, but we get a good amount, nothing too crazy, but I mean.
Yeah. For us, it's kind of weird. You said that too, is it's always been kind of the weird part about it, especially like the last couple of years. We went to a few of the U.S. men's soccer matches, and I'm not lying. The women's product is so much better than what the men's team is fielding. And I'm like, and you're looking at the thing, and it's just, unless they're playing a big match, even that's not selling out. And I'm like, why not? This is a much better product to watch.
I agree. Maybe I always think maybe it's the speed of play. Men's is faster.
Maybe.
There's more flopping.
There is a lot more of that.
Annoying.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's annoying to watch.
I 100% agree.
I mean, who doesn't like the fact that it looks like the guy just blew his knee out? He's rolling around the ground, crying. Nobody touched me. Stay away from that. And then the very next play, he's running to the goal trying to score the winning.
Exactly.
You're like, wait a minute. I thought you were just about to die.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure you were dead.
like, oh my goodness. I know.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't like the wanting to penalize people for that, but at the same time, I think there has to be some either yellow card for stopping play, something in that.
Why is it still going on, man? It's been going on since I started watching soccer in 2016. It's just annoying. Like
like people practice doing it because sometimes it works and sometimes it's beneficial, but sometimes it's just taken too far.
There's 4 referees, right? You have 3 in the field and 1 inside the box. You're telling me that no one saw this faking? There's no way this guy just Superman flew back like, oh my God, he pushed me. Not possible.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't like it.
Clipped his heel and he's holding his knee. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So what for people that you play, you're playing, in the back, defense. And now, where is your preferred? I mean, I know that's where they currently have you as your role. Do you prefer defense, or are you okay? So, and some people are that way. They're like, no, I want to be able to score. I'm like, no, you don't understand. There's something pretty cool about stopping a charge when the other team, they're coming down here, and you're the one that breaks it up and kicks it back out.
Yes, exactly. And because I'm on that outside player, we get to go up as well.
Nice.
So I don't get many chances to score, but I get more chances to assist a goal. So
yeah,
I don't mind.
For the novices, assist, I honestly think is one of the most underrated stats that's not given a lot of credit to, because just like I said, you could be running right alongside with your teammate. She's scoring all the goals.
Mm-hmm.
Getting all the accolades, like, oh my God. But, very few people are actually saying, yeah, but without Lynsey's setup,
exactly,
she was the one that put the pass right where you needed, right on that right foot. You scored it. If she hadn't done that work, if she hadn't nutmegged that defender, there was absolutely no way. I don't know. Can you actually, side note, can you use that term in women's soccer?
Yeah.
Nutmeg. Okay. It's not really. I don't know if there's another term. That's why I was just like.
Yeah, that's like the proper term. Usually, you just say like, "Oh, I megged someone," or "They megged."
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know if there's another term, so that's why I wanted to check. Yeah. So when you do that setup, that's the amazing part. Is I think there needs to be more focus on the players that do what you're doing.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's not. I mean, obviously, it's not as flashy. Because
I know.
Yeah, but that was when I played soccer in my leaner days. That was the thing too. Is just I preferred defense. I I was always on the right side.
Wow.
I preferred the right, which was kind of weird, especially since being right-handed, kicking with my right.
Mm-hmm.
Defending on the right was, you have a lot less room to put, where if you're on the left, it's a lot easier to, you got a lot more area to kick. So I don't know, it's kind of weird that I preferred that, but it just, something about that side, I really could do the slide tackles a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it was just because on the sideline I was closer to the line. It just mentally, I don't know what it was.
I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. This isn't about me. This is about
right.
We gotta
Shut up, man. God, you just taking over this show. Well, a lot of people don't know. You started out in Orlando City Youth Soccer. I met you in Winter Springs High School.
Mm-hmm.
You were coached under Octavius Clark with the cross country team. You were a 4-year starter varsity team with Winter Springs High School. Then you went to Troy. What made you decide to go to Troy for soccer and not cross country and track?
Well, I always debated whether to do both.
Mm-hmm.
I've always enjoyed soccer more. Like, I enjoy playing.
Yeah.
I get that drive to play, that motivation. Like, I want to play. With track and cross country, I enjoyed the company. I enjoyed like doing well, and I wasn't bad at it. So I enjoyed that part as well.
Yeah.
But like, I was like, yes, I get to go run.
Yeah.
Feel terrible afterwards. Like, I didn't like that part as much. But I loved Coach Clark as well, Octavius Clark.
Yeah.
He was phenomenal. If he wasn't my coach, I don't know if I would have done it.
Yeah. That's cool.
So, I was more thinking, like, do I want to put myself under doing cross country, track, and soccer when I really only love one of them?
Yeah.
Plus, like, going to college, like being a freshman and starting out, like learning a whole new way of life, kind of schooling and all that. I was like,
that's a lot to take in.
Yeah, it was a lot. So I was like, I think I'm just going to stick with soccer, and I can always ask the coaches there if I change my mind or something, but I was just trying to stick with one.
There you go.
All right, so how long are you under contract for?
The seasons here are a little different, so I've already signed my second contract here.
Nice. That's
Since
good.
I moved here last July, it was like the middle of their season. We usually start in March.
Yeah.
So I signed in the middle of season, and our season ends October, November. And then we have like a spring season, which is like winter because we can't play outside when it's snowing and stuff. So like Florida's like spring season, when you only have a few games. So like we didn't do anything. And then I just signed a new contract in December for March through this November as well.
Nice.
So.
Kind of along that, like we were saying, I'm actually surprised with some of those areas up there why they don't do more indoor.
Yeah.
I fully don't, because especially if you have a limited season, especially in Scandinavian areas. It gets really cold super fast. And, there's not exactly a lot of fun. I mean, unless you just plan on playing football half the season and switching over to hockey. Two
sport athlete.
Yeah, just she's doing slide tackles half the season, then side checking into the forwards on the other half.
Not for me. Not for me.
I'm not sure exactly where you were born. I know I met you at Winter Springs, obviously, and then you met your fiance, and you said you moved there, so because your fiance played basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
How was the transition? You're like, all right, been in Florida for at least 4 years. I know you, and now you're moving out of the States to a different country.
Yeah.
To work in the snow. I mean, like what, 10 feet of snow every winter? What was that transition like?
This winter was a little bit different because I'm not sure, like global warming or something, but it was honestly like there was not that much snow at all. Everyone was like, just wait for it. Like last winter, there was like feet and feet piles of snow, but this winter there was some snow, but nowhere near to what it normally is. And so I was like, okay, like winter, okay. Like everyone was hyping up the winter here, and I didn't even really experience the winter.
Oh God.
But it is different,
It'll
obviously.
happen.
From
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah.
So,
I moved down here to Florida from Oregon. I go, trust me, you're
So,
up in
yeah.
that area, you're going to get snow. It's anything about there. It's just, it's going to happen.
it's different, but it was a lot of it was just cold, cold majority of the year, where it's you have to wear a jacket, you have to wear boots, but it wasn't snowing all the time, but you had to wear those types of clothing because it was just cold.
Yeah.
So I didn't really enjoy that. I'm definitely a summer girl.
You got to do much skiing at all when you're there this last winter?
I did not go skiing at all. I did not. I have been skiing in the States, in North Carolina and all that, but I didn't go skiing here.
Yeah, cross country, especially since you did cross country. Cross country skiing is a really good workout. Oh man, is that exhausting?
Very popular here.
Yeah, it's you don't have to do the slalom, try to kill yourself flying down a hill. This one is just you're going just like cross country running, but I mean it is one of those if you've never done it before, you are exhausted after you're done.
Do it.
Yeah, so I mean it's a great workout, but it's definitely there's no point of once you go to a certain point you got to realize I still have to go back.
Oh yeah, see, I just don't think for me.
Yeah, it's not. It's one of those. There's a lot of people you see them. We go for miles. I'm like, oh man, I'm already.
I can't even imagine doing that. No.
Yeah. So, kind of paint a picture. Because obviously a lot of people never been to Finland.
Mm-hmm.
Is most of the towns. I mean, is there a lot of highly populated towns, or is it mostly a lot of smaller communities, kind of grouped in close proximity of each other?
The towns they're pretty close in proximity, compared to Finland a whole being a whole country. Florida is bigger than this whole country.
Yeah.
So, if we drove from the top of Finland to the bottom, it'd probably take 12 hours or less than a day, whereas it's just not the same there. Yeah. But they're pretty close. We just moved to this Tampere, but we lived in Nokia. And so they're two cities, but they're literally 15, 20 minutes apart.
Nice.
So that's not too bad.
No.
And I forgot, congratulations, by the way, on the engagement.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
I forgot to say that a little earlier, just congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Who is the biggest rival, the arch rival that you want to take down at any and all costs?
Oh.
For you, who's the club rival? Because like I said, I'm trying to get everybody, because like I said, there is not a lot of information, and most people, like I said, aren't really, outside of the big leagues that you see over here on ESPN. Most of these under ones, most people haven't even heard of, let alone know the clubs. So, because I'm looking at here, I'm going to butcher into my tribe. I'm going to try because because the abbreviation, they just have the JYPK. And you ladies just beat them 3-1.
Mm-hmm.
So
we don't really. I mean, maybe it's because I'm still new here, so I don't really know the rivals. But because there's no team that's super close to us, we don't play any teams in Nokia, which is the town right next door. They're not in our league, in our top league. All the top leagues, there's about 12 teams, if you can see on your screen. Yeah. But they're all in bigger cities. So they take at least an hour or an hour and a half to get there for those teams. No, none of those teams are close enough. So I'm not sure if we have a rival, I guess, that I know of at least. Because I'm so new. I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, speaking of being new, I'm looking at your squad roster, and every single flag is Finnish, and there's only one American. How I may sound stupid here. How is language barrier? Was it hard to communicate? Are they American? We don't,
Well, everyone is required here in school to learn English.
Oh wow.
So that's like the good part about coming to Finland, that mostly everyone can converse in English.
Yeah.
It may not be the best. They may not be as comfortable speaking English, but they can do it.
Yeah.
Nice.
You can figure it out. If they are lacking English skills, it works. They're not like, oh my gosh. They can, unless like maybe some older people who like they didn't have to learn it in school, they might not know it, but usually a lot of people know it. I haven't met anyone really that's like doesn't know anything, which is nice. But a lot of Finnish people are very shy. And so when I first came to the team, I'm the only American and I don't know much Finnish. So they were very shy. So it was super uncomfortable. Like I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't know what they're saying. They kind of know what I'm saying, but they're so uncomfortable. They were just so shy to speak to me. They didn't want to like mess up and they didn't want to, sound like dumb or something. And I was like, no, please talk to me.
Help me.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah, help. Yeah,
I don't
please.
care how you say it. I will figure it out.
That's awesome.
I will learn to roll my R's. I will get this.
Bob commented. He didn't comment on the thing, but on the Facebook, he said, "You need to grow your beard. You can't hang with us without your beard." So, man, you need to work on that.
Well, we've joked about prior to these interviews sending out those little on a paint stick, where you could have a fake beard and you could just hold it up there doing the interview.
That would have been great.
I know. So these are some ideas that we got to just quit thinking about and just pull it.
We have so many ideas we haven't done yet.
Oh, yeah, you have to implement them.
Yeah, just you could be over there holding up the orange ginger beer. Just
yes.
Yeah,
that would look great.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you without your beard. Oh, that's right.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, so most of as I'm looking through there, you guys are actually have done pretty well recently. You were 3-1, and
3-1.
two shutouts too. So I mean that's really good. I mean overall, like in most leagues, especially the ones like top leagues where you're competitive. I mean, even just yourself, because it looks like if I'm not mistaken, you've been getting. Like the last game, you got a lot of playing time. It doesn't look like.
Yeah, I've been getting playing time.
Did you play the entire match?
Yeah.
See, that 90 minutes. That's a lot. That's impressive.
It is a lot.
Yeah, that and for that, especially like when you get up into more of those higher competitive things. I mean, especially for you guys to be, if I'm not mistaken, I think it has you guys in 6th place.
Yeah, we're I think like right in the middle.
Yeah, which is not bad because typically like those leagues, you want to get somewhere in the top 4.
Yes.
Yeah. So you got, you girls are, right there. Yeah, you're right there. You're 2 places out. I mean, you're not far back from those. So
yeah,
it's still anybody's thing. And how much longer is the season? For you guys?
We're probably going to go until November, maybe the middle of November, because our season kind of got cut short because of Corona. So we were out of season March, April, May, and we started back up in June. So we had to cut the games in half and work with what we have.
We interview a lot of MMA fighters and stuff, and they had to cut their stuff short too with training and stuff. Did your coach, were you still able to train with your team, or you were just, coach was like, please do your own training?
Yeah, we could not practice with the team. Yeah, in soccer, there's so much in sports in general, there's always so much touching, Yeah. So, and you don't know what people are doing if they are going out and then coming to practice and everyone's touching. You head the ball if the ball hits you, So we couldn't practice. The government, maybe they shut down all sporting.
Yeah.
Anything that there was group gathering over 10 people or 20 people, they just said no. And we just they sent us things to do on our own. Mm-hmm. But obviously it's kind of hard to play soccer by yourself. So most of the training was endurance and stamina and all that.
You get your fiance to help you. He grabs the ball and starts playing basketball with it. No.
We had to switch off. I'm like, I'll help you if you help me.
That's awesome.
There you go. Yeah, I just got pulled up the standings. Yeah, you ladies are only three points difference between second and where you guys are currently sitting.
Yeah, we actually just checked that yesterday too after the game. We're like, okay, and we've been pretty close. We haven't, like most of our scores, they're only like 1 or 2 goal difference. There's nothing that's huge, and most of the other games, like we had potential to win. It's not like we couldn't win them. So I think we'll bump up.
Yeah, no, everything's close.
I think it's most people would say Honka, but I'm pretty sure it's Honka.
Honka,
yeah. They're playing right now. I mean, they're only 1 point, so they need to lose so that way you jump up ahead. Yeah,
because they're both 5 and 6 or whatever it is, and whoever wins that's going to drop. But you play Helsinki. That's all it says. PK 35. So if you beat them, I'm pretty sure you'll jump up in the top 5 or 4. So
yeah, because they're actually doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're new to the league this season.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing pretty well. Like they're holding their ground. So I think in 2 weeks, our next game's in 2 weeks. If we beat them, we'll bump up.
There you go.
Which I'm hoping for.
Yeah, it looks like pretty nice. And it's really cool, as we're learning. I like we're actually learning about these different leagues. And do you know much about the history of your guys' mascot?
I don't.
I've been trying to search that up. I'm like, where did this come from? And what? And it looks to be like a bobcat.
I'll pull it up.
It's a lynx.
He cannot let it go.
Okay. Well, I was looking at. I'm just trying to figure. I'm like, this almost looks like one of those that was created back in the 30s and 40s. And has stuck with it.
And it just stayed there.
Yeah. Off the air, we were just joking around, and as I was trying to find it, I was just like, I'm like, I don't think I found the right one. I'm like, no, that's their official one. I'm like, that is. I told Austin that has got to be one of the most unusual official logos I've ever seen.
It's funny.
Yeah, and I'm trying to look around because most places you'll have, I'm a Chelsea fan, from Premier League. Austin's made, you'll have like the official logo, you'll have something like this, but then you'll have Chelsea has a lion. You have the different things. So I was thinking that I'm like, okay, so I'm trying to find their official logo. I can't find it. All I'm finding is that.
Links, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, because normally they'll have something where they'll say the name. You'll have that. It was FC. You'll have something with it. With the city. No, it's a Lynx.
Yep, it's a Lynx.
That's cool. That's cool. It is very unusual. Which, hey, there's nothing wrong with being, individualist and being yourself. Because that's pretty cool. True. Yeah.
Our hockey team is bigger, so you might find more information with Ilves on the hockey team. I know that's very big here.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of why I joked about it. It's like, hey, you can do that during the wintertime if you really if you get frustrated, just throw the pads on and just start crying.
I don't like that part. I just don't think I can skate very well. I don't think I can go very far.
Yeah. I know it'd be me using the stick as a crutch as I'm trying to. No. I was just going to ask too. Now, are you and your fiance? Do you guys compete about it at the same time, or have you found has it lucked out to where you're basically both of you are able to go and be at each other's events?
Yes. They kind of intertwine a little bit, but it's like not very much because he plays almost all year round.
Nice.
Yep.
So his official season usually starts from August and it goes until May.
Wow.
Because of Corona, his season actually got cut short this past year as well. So they ended. They didn't get the championship. They didn't get to play in any of that. They cut it. Yeah. And so during Corona time, we got to spend a great amount of time with each other. Too much time with each other.
Yeah. Well, if anything, you did figure out if you guys were going to be able to work,
There you go.
out. Yeah, because if you can't during those things where you're forced to be next to each other all the time, and you made it through that, I go, that's a pretty good sign.
Yes, you're right. True.
Yeah, because
He's always able to come to my games, at least thus far. He's come to all the games, the home games at least.
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, and then I usually can make it to his too, all the home ones, and our like my team is in Tampere, and he just signed with his team in Tampere, so we're both in the same city, so we're very close to make it to each other's games and all of that. So
Nice.
it's convenient.
Now, kind of when we were talking about COVID, and it's been kind of the thing I've been wanting to know for sports a long time is, and maybe you have an idea. Now, if everybody gets tested, so if you and all your teammates are negative, why can't we hold a match? I mean, obviously MMA, which we've been covering, has figured it out that we could still hold these things. So I'm looking at all these sports teams, and they're cutting stuff short. I'm like, if the players are tested, why not just play? And that's what
I haven't even been tested. They haven't. We didn't have to get tested.
That's weird. Isn't that weird?
And look, but she's at home too. The MLS and NBA are in Disney right now in the bubble. She's at home and she's still playing and practicing. Why can't we do that in America?
It's so different. I mean, I don't see much. I just read stuff from the States, and I mean, I know they broadcast everything negative all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm not even sure what's accurate and what's not. But like Finland takes a lot of precautions, I guess, compared to the US. So like we didn't even have that many outbreaks like in all of Finland, and they took the precautionary where we didn't start my season for 3 months.
Yeah.
And there wasn't many deaths. There were some, but there wasn't as many, obviously, compared to the States or Florida or whatever. And so they just took a lot of precautionaries. They closed the restaurants. They closed the bar. They closed everything. And they didn't open them. They didn't say, oh, I'll give it 2 weeks and then we'll try. Like, they did not open them. They closed the borders. Like, you couldn't go from, like, Sweden to Finland. You couldn't go anywhere. They closed the capital, so you couldn't go in and out from the capital city. They just took all the caution they needed to help prevent it to be terrible, I guess, or worse, which I think helped a lot because everything's open now and everything's resumed, basically. For our games, we still play our games. We don't shake hands after the match, which is like the only thing that's really different, I guess. Right now. But that's no
just
big
go along and kick. Just go along and touch cleats now.
Yeah.
Tackle. Oh, God.
So here's some of the really hard-hitting questions of this program right now.
Okay.
So what is the worst food you've had to eat over there in Finland?
And what do you miss about America?
It's not, well, it's because you always have like, everybody, it's like Americanized food. You go to the other stuff and you have like the gefilte fish and you have these other things, where you're just like, and people are like, you have to try, like Scotland's is haggis. And it's just, it's nasty.
I've heard of that, but I've never.
So like in there in Finland, what's the thing that everybody loves? Everybody says, oh, it's the best. And you're just like,
oh, I was trying to think of something. Okay. I don't know about like food. They don't really have any like bizarre like meals, I guess, that I've heard of or even thought of, or like that my fiance has even said anything about. But they do eat like this licorice candy, and it is disgusting. It's not candy. I don't know why it's classified as a candy, but it's disgusting. It's like liquor. I don't even know what it is.
All right, so we're going to send you some money. You're going to send us one back, and live on air, we'll eat it to see our reaction.
Oh, I know my family when I came like maybe 2 years ago. I was like, "Oh, try this great." No one liked it. It's terrible. But everyone here loves it. That's
exactly it. You have that one thing where just everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's the best." You're like,
It's literally black candy. Who wants to eat black candy when there's a whole thing of colorful, nice blue, green, pink, and all these black candies everywhere?
Well, it works out in your favor because all the good ones are left for you. Well, those other ones. You're like, oh, you're not going to eat that? No. This is my gift to you. You can have these wonderful black candies. These are yours.
Wait.
I'm sacrificing for you. You eat this, please.
Exactly. Please, here.
Well, as we start wrapping it up, my last question would be, I told you I started listening or following soccer more and more. You used to play for Orlando City. Are you following them in the MLS's back tournament right now?
I've looked at it a little bit, nothing too major, which maybe sounds kind of bad.
Bad for me too, because I'm like, all right, I was gonna be like, yeah, how do you think they're gonna do? They played last night. I forgot. So they won, but yeah, I mean, they've beat Miami. I forgot who else. They tied with Philadelphia. They just won their first game in the round of 16. So do you think it's because they're not really – there's teams missing. It's not a real season. Do you think that's like good or bad for the real season next year? Like, are we going to do good or –
I don't know.
They made a lot of changes, but –
I don't know if it's necessarily good.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of think of it like how it's our season now. Like, it's cut short. Everything's kind of different. So now you don't get the same opportunity if you start off rocky or if you start off great. You kind of don't have the same, now we're only playing 36 games where normally we play 60 or something like that. It's like, how accurate is it? I don't know. Yeah. So I'm not sure if it's a good thing or a bad thing. But if they're doing well, then I guess it's a great thing because –
they're in the playoffs. I mean, they got the first round of the playoffs knocked out. That's just great. So let's do this.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that time. Just as a fan, we can get back to the stands. I mean, even if they just figured out like every 4 seats, you figure something out. One, as a player for you, I mean, there's something magical about actually coming out and having the crowd cheer and roar for you. You actually find that other gear. Whereas now, it's just all you hear is your coach screaming at you. Yeah, that's the only yelling you hear is the coach telling you you've done something wrong.
I can't even imagine. I was telling my mom, like, I can't imagine what it's like there because it's nothing like that here.
Yeah.
Like, we went to amusement parks, like everything is like not 100% normal, but basically normal.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so I'm like, I can't even imagine like everyone has to wear masks everywhere or
the restaurants are 50% capacity.
Yeah, I have
pass holders. It's really annoying, but
you have to do what you have to do.
Yeah,
totally get it. But I just am like, I feel like it's not real because I'm not living it.
Yeah,
and I just see it everywhere, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
this right now it's crazy. Like you said, you're at your house, you're playing games, you haven't been tested. Over in America, all these players in a bubble. They can't go to see their families. We're doing something wrong in America, and that's obvious. It's been obvious, but right here shows it too. I mean,
it is crazy to see and to compare.
My God.
But I don't really know. I don't know what's accurate. It's so hard because they don't post anything positive. If there is something positive that comes forth, I feel like it's not broadcasted.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, oh, we found 10,000 more cases, but they didn't say anything positive. Oh, we found 2,000 more cases, but there's nothing positive that is coming from any of it. So I'm like, I don't know what's actually accurate.
Yeah. No, when you send that sticker to Austin, sneak in a couple pieces of that nasty candy.
I'll eat it. On video.
I'm one of those things. I won't knock it until I try it. I mean, I'll react to it, because who knows? I might be one of the weirdos that's like, oh, that was pretty good.
Okay, I'll send you something. They put it in ice cream. They put it in chocolate. It's not even just the candy. It's like a huge flavor thing. I'll send you a chocolate bar with it. I can't send you ice cream, but you can picture it after you taste the candy, what the ice cream would taste like.
Just thinking you're getting a wonderful dessert, and all of a sudden that, you bite into it and that thing, that nasty explosion just.
Literally, it's not sweet at all. So I don't know why it's candy. It's not sweet.
That's great.
Awesome. Well, Lynsey, thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure talking to you. Best of luck to you, in your football club. I will, pay attention, like I said, and root for you guys to march up the table.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Get in there, and one last thing, like I said, for everybody, just same thing. We'll put a link in there as no pun intended. See what I did? See what I did there? Yeah, we'll put a link in the description for the sake on how to find out more information for your football club. But best of luck to you. Congratulations on the engagement.
Thank you so much.
Wish your fiance the best in his basketball thing. And that you guys keep staying safe there. Have fun and go score that goal.
Yeah.
I'll do my best.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Have a great night.
You too.
Oh,
Bye.
It's night there. I forgot.
All right. And this episode of Three Beard Sports is brought to you by Broad's Beard Care. Amazing, all-natural beard care oil made with essential oils by the master craftsman, Kelly Brott himself. Go to broadsbeardcare.com. Use promo code 3beards with a capital B. You're going to get 20% off your entire order. And all orders with Kelly are free shipping. So check him out. Support us. We have our own signature blend there. If you buy a bottle of that, not only are you supporting Kelly, you are also supporting us as well. We really appreciate that. Nanny Cakes, Nancy Burke, other sponsor in Central Florida area. Go call her at 407-923-2898 or go to Nanny Cakes 407 on Facebook. Mention us, you're going to get 15% off your order, which is quite a savings on cake.
Yeah.
Central Florida area is where realistically it's going to be easy to get it delivered to you, especially somewhere around the Orlando area. Outside of that, probably could do, we'd have to figure something out, but it's going to be really hard to get you anything that's going to arrive to you like you'd like it to look. So visit us on the social networks. We are pretty much everywhere. Patreon.com/3beards podcast to support us so we can keep growing, keep getting different programming going on like this sports thing. And YouTube. Go to YouTube, our channel, Three Beards Podcast. Subscribe to hit that notification bell, please, because we would like it to say Three Beards Podcast for the channel link. But until we get 100 subscribers, we can't do that.
Yep.
So we're stuck with an ugly link until you guys can come and subscribe and help us out with that. So please do that. Once again, Lynsey Kelly, thank you so much for joining us. That was great talking to you. Best of luck to you and the rest of the links. Hope everything goes great for you and you ladies march up that table. Everybody, take care. We will talk to you later. And this has been Three Beard Sports.